Canada is under severe strain when it comes to youth mental health services. It is estimated that the lack of access to mental health help for young people is costing an estimated $4 billion annually. In the U.S., young people are increasingly trying therapy chatbots as an alternative to seeking out in-person mental health professionals. But is it a viable solution long term? We're going to explore that this morning. We're joined this morning by investigative journalist Mark Carluber, who has been covering this story. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, Anne-Marie, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, first off, how do therapy chatbots work? This is a form of AI that's supposed to be helping young people with mental health. How does it work?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few different options. One, there has been, a huge growth in the number of various health-related apps that exist in, the smartphone marketplaces over the last few years, especially during the pandemic. Among them are like a bot called Wobot, where you can, essentially check in and it asks you, some prompts like, hey, how are you feeling? And it gives you like some multiple choice responses that you're able to respond with. But, there's also in the last, few years, the really major emergence of ChatGPT. And we have evidence that suggests that kids are also turning to ChatGPT to, discuss their mental health challenges as well, and looking to that as, for answers.
Obviously, I'm not the demographic that this is aimed at. So like when I am chatbots, I find them very frustrating. But if I'm a young person, how is it being received by, the demographic it's actually aimed at? Where does it help and where does it not?
Yeah, I mean, right now, to be honest, there's really a lack of strong evidence about its efficacy. So there are a few studies now that do suggest that it's helpful. There was one, industry supported study that found that it was effective in reducing depressive symptoms. And another study actually just came out that found that kids didn't feel so isolated. They didn't feel so alone. And, kids are really used to communicating with each other via text-based communications. And that's what is happening here. Kids are able to access this. It has a really low barrier of entry. They don't have to, drive to their therapist, and they don't have to worry about, the stigma of talking to a health professional about their challenges.
We know in mental health therapy here in Canada, I'm assuming it's the same in the States, that there's a lack of practitioners with different race and cultural backgrounds. And that's in real life. And add that to the criticism in AI that it doesn't service marginalized communities well because of lack of inputs from people of different backgrounds. So is there a concern with these kind of chatbots?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really important question because, artificial intelligence is actually created by humans, right? Mm-hmm. And so there have been longstanding concerns that racial biases are baked into the system. And there is evidence that that's the case here as well. So we're talking specifically a study on these large language models like ChatGPT. They found that they actually offered responses that were medically inaccurate and had relied on racist tropes about Black people. And so the result here is that, we're dealing with a product that, isn't regulated, and instead of helping people may actually deepen, worsen longstanding racial disparities in health.
Mark, really quickly before we let you go, and it's an important question. We know that in in-person therapy, it often involves cases of abuse, and there is a duty to report. But what happens in a case of AI? Is there also a duty to report? When do they get humans involved?
That's a really great question as well, because there isn't a duty to report here. In fact, there was an investigation several years ago that found that one of these chatbots, when presented with, information about really, troubling, information, had offered advice that was, just completely inaccurate. And, one thing that's a reality with these bots is that they're just not designed to be something to grapple with really significant issues. And so they could maybe recommend to you, hey, maybe you could seek medical advice, but they're certainly not going to take that, extra step and, alert authorities to say, hey, this person is really having some significant troubles.
Mark, thanks for joining us today. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.